So in this video we will explore the island, perform some crashes, then do a drop test and finally a gravity jump. Yeah, you heard it right.
So, there we have it. Let's take a closer look and inspect it. Of course, let's start off easy and enjoy it. If I'm being completely honest, it reminds me of a certain car in real life, but I can't remember the name. Very nice rims. I really like the bull bar. It fits the car like a glove. Next, we look at the open trunk. We have to explore everything like a little child. Curiosity is fun. It was nice, wasn't it? Now we come to the interior, since I'm very fanatical about looking for buttons that I can press. Doesn't look like we have many buttons to choose from. Oh well, that's just how it is. Then let's open the doors. We need a lot of fresh air. It's very hot here. Wow, I think the sun is on vacation on Earth. Back to the car mod, man. How fast the camera moves. That doesn't stop me from opening the rear door. All right, just the last door is missing, and then we've done it. This gives us a better view of the seats. They're very ordinary seats, nothing breathtaking, as they're 90s style. The sun visors could have had a bit of love, but all in all, beautiful. We'll take a look at the engine right away. But first we'll open the trunk and take a look. Wow, just fantastic. Anything would fit except a horse. Even if it would be exaggerated, be that as it may. It's time to take a closer look at the heart of this vehicle. Oh, the color red certainly makes a sporty impression. The engine's details page is adequate, so nothing special. Before the engine catches a cold, we'll close the hood. This brings us to the sound check, something that should never be missed. Yes, that really sounds bad, just kidding. Typical for an old car. Then we'll load the vehicle and see if it works. A loading area like this is practical and usable. Nice. That fills me with pride and coolness. We can even load 4 cargo boxes onto the back. Super duper. I'm impressed. There's another box you can choose from. I'm not seeing right. A Tarp XL box. I'm so glad I did. But since it weighs too much, it has to be removed so we can utilize its full potential. The long-standing ends here, and now, before I forget, we can change the range box. So this vehicle is capable of off-roading, great. Something like that is useful, but not in this case. The journey can begin. Oh, I forgot the AI. Without it, it's just too boring. Where are my manners? I've known the game for a year, and I've forgotten the most important part. That's better. It makes you feel like you're on a real American island. But this map is a mod. It's simply called American Island. Of course, I'll put the mod link under the video description. Then, on the right side of the screen, you can see the developer of this map. Why are they honking at me? Crazy AI. And at the same time, they can't even drive properly. Sunday drivers. There is even a small bay in front of us. You can see that straight away. Wonderful. It would be nice if I had an amphibious vehicle. There are even small waves crashing against the island. It looks like it. Also, the car has no problems driving over sand. I just wanted to mention that. So, we've rinsed the bikes thoroughly. Now we can continue exploring. A little jump won't hurt us. That almost went wrong. We were close to kissing the tree. The map isn't exactly a graphical marvel, but I still like the basic structure. So it's well suited for PCs with less powerful graphics. What do I see here? A functioning gas station. You don't often see that on modded maps. I don't have to understand that. Let's just let him do his thing. Let's change the variation. It's gotten too boring. We have much cooler configurations. With this mod, the Ibishu Pessima has gained 10 more variations. That's pretty awesome. The basic model is currently in use. There is one with a manual transmission. There are also 3.0-liter engines, and there's a custom version, which shouldn't be missed. And the turbocharged versions. They'll tear up the streets. The yellow one completes the mod. Which one should I choose for you? Let me think and solve mathematical formulas. I've made my choice. It'll be the 3.0-liter engine. Fast cars are just awesome. Super cool. The look doesn't look that different from the base model. Still, the engine is powerful. On this island we can use our full power, because there is not much traffic. No. Well, if the road didn't end. Luckily, I got a quick response. Because of Call of Duty Black Ops 6, the driving school teaches the citizens of this American island how to wreck their cars. A church on the left, then a few shops on the right. Can't stop because the button is stuck. Get out of the way, folks. Things will get ugly if you don't. I have to say, it's got some serious power under the hood. Holy shit, the car lost traction and almost rolled over. Lightweight or what? Well, that's just what we need, so we can admire and smell the damage model. I mean, examine it. Not bad. That's what you call excellent work. Nothing less. Great, dude. What I noticed is that there are no traffic lights or anything like that here, let alone street signs. Just a side note, but I like the houses. They fit America, even though I haven't been to America yet. What's going on up front? Why are they driving so slowly? There's no speed limit here. I take back my statement. There was a traffic light earlier. For me, it's unlimited because I'm a content creator. Damn, the road ends here too. What a small island. I could explode with rage. That's why we're going to crash into another car at full speed. Surprise, driving school. He will think twice about whether he should continue to get his driver's license. So our car survived pretty well. The front protection bar did its job excellently. Well, we can save ourselves the trouble of driving. Time for the drop test. Where should we drop this beautiful piece? First, I need to gain altitude. My first thought is on top of a building. That would be much more exciting. One thing I can say is that I already have a rough idea. We just drove past a church a few minutes ago. This will be our point of impact. Or at least I'll try to make it so. I'll try my best to hit the cross. Maybe the car will get impaled. Sorry for the weird camera movements, but I need to get the camera in the right position as best as possible. That looks like an extraordinary height. Let's see how high we are. We are 551,563 m above the ground, which means we can drop the vehicle. I'm excited to see how it hits the ground, and I hope you are too. And for one thing, I hope we'll hit the cross. For total destruction. Well, I still have to practice hitting the target. It looks like the vehicle was integrated into the ground. It was both brutal and awesome. We'll try again because I can't leave it like this. It must be possible to drop the car onto its full tilt. This angle should be able to hit the car on the cross. If not, I'll lose my faith in the BeamNG gods. Oh no, I pressed the wrong button. Now I have to start over. Where is my brain again? So I'll speed it up a bit. Unfortunately, I'm not that young anymore, and I forget the key assignments. I hope it works this time, and we can be happy and amazed by it. Like a haystack filled together. Very nice. Anyway, then the second attempt can take place. We're 651,748 meters above ground. A little higher, but that doesn't matter. The destruction is in the foreground, and of course the impalement. You can tell the car's center of gravity is at the front, as it tends to tip forward. I've become a real BeamNG scientist. That hurt. More than half of the vehicle was flattened. Nice! Nevertheless, we did not meet the top of the church, which makes me very unhappy. This brings us to the third and final attempt. I'm crossing my fingers and toes. We also increase the height to make it even flatter. We're almost 1,000 meters above the ground now, so this has to work. Otherwise, I'll sell my laptop and go back to playing Atari. The moment of truth has arrived. Will I be able to spot the church from 1,000 meters away? We'll see that in a moment, but a quick commercial. Luckily, the commercial was only short, which is good to know. I thought that was it for us. Unfortunately, the impalement on the cross didn't work, so we're doing the gravitational jump now. Here we are, the beaming community's unforgettable ramp. As the name suggests, we'll hurl the vehicle over the ramp using different gravity forces. Of course, we'll start with Earth gravity first, then we'll make changes. This will be a lot of fun and destruction. So don't click away and stay tuned, my sweeties. Let's get the action started, otherwise it will get too boring. Let's see which gravity level will do more damage. People who have known this game for a long time already know. I hope the engine lasts until the end of the ramp. I really shouldn't worry about it. It won't be long now before the car gets a big surprise. Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. The impact is happening now. Ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, there's no escape. I would have imagined it to be worse. It was like a baby landing. I'm very disappointed. So I give it a destruction score of 5 out of 10, because it wasn't that intense. Then let's move on to the next round of gravitation. I'm curious to see what the next game will be like. Phew, the car is having a tough time with the moon's gravity. Where's NASA to give us a rover? So the wear on the rear wheels has increased immeasurably. Luckily, there's no such thing in BeamNG, so I was lucky. Now I have to keep the car under control until the end of the ramp, which won't be easy. Still doable for a pro like me. Holy cow, the tires are still squealing. That's just the lunar gravity. It loves that tire noise. So we're in the air, floating toward destruction. Now, let's talk real. I'd also like to go into space and observe the planet from above. Anyway, we're flying through the air and doing spins around our own axis. Nice! But the game is completely over, and it's time to get a slap in the face. That's how it works around here. That looked more promising. I'd love to have something like that. Just more destruction. Thanks, Moon. We're not finished yet. The car is still moving, so everything's still open. Oh shit, a wall. That's probably our downfall. We'll merge with the wall, and it'll spit us out again. Still moving, so I can't tell you the score yet. Patience is the real power. It looks more destroyed, and a few pieces are missing, so I'm giving it a score of 7.5 out of 10. The next gravitational level is Mars. Yep, you heard right, the red planet. I hope the Martians see this and celebrate me for it. Luckily, I can rest my ears a little. No squealing tires this time. It's a blessing for you too. Mars' gravity is similar to Earth's, but we'll soon see how destructive it will be. We've started and are heading to the pool. Will we make it there or won't we? This looks good. I even think we'll land in the pool without any contact with the ground. Nope. I take back what I just said. It wasn't enough. More destruction for us. This might give us more destruction points, so we're rolling around on the ground. The red planet is playing it serious. If things continue like this, we'll still reach the pool, so my predictions were 50% accurate. That makes me proud. Nice to get the wheels a little wet. However, the left side was completely demolished, but the right side remained perfectly fine. So a score of 6 out of 10. With sun gravity, we can't even move from a spot. So the destruction score is 3 out of 10, since the wheels and suspension are press-in. We're moving on. And now Jupiter comes into play. Will he take first place, or will he have to fall behind his opponents? Stay tuned, my cool guys and girls and destruction enthusiasts. Things are about to get ugly and unpleasant. Of course, I'm talking about the vehicle. So enjoy the show and sit back and experience the destructive power of Jupiter. Now in theaters, tickets available for likes only. The landing went quite well, so we continue on, assuming nothing has happened. Nevertheless, we're still waiting to see what happens next. Oh my goodness, Mother of Scintilla, that was a happy ending with a destructive rage. Awesome! The entire front is vaporized, which means the score is 8 out of 10. Wonderful! We're getting closer and closer to the end. But the small dwarf planet named Pluto still wants to join in. So we grant it. Very slowly. This will take too long. Then let's speed up the process. Otherwise, I'll fall asleep. Nothing's happening here anyway, so you might as well speed things up. I'm doing all this for you, so don't hate me for it. Pluto's gravity is one of the best in my opinion. Thanks to the developers for implementing it. The launch was successful. Now comes the floating part, which will probably take a while until we reach the ground. During the flight, you can enjoy the view. The bridge in the distance is great. Then there are the wind turbines. I don't even have anything like that near me. The many grasses are also beautiful to look at. We're getting closer and closer to the ground. Not much longer, and we'll have done it. The moment of truth has come. We count 3, 2, 1 and impact. So we've completely screwed up the count, anyway. Finally, we're on the ground and can imagine a scene of destruction. It's so quiet here, when everything happens so slowly. You could even drink a coffee in your car. It will take a few more years before it all comes to a standstill, but we can already guess that it wasn't that brutal. Nothing's happening here anyway. So give Pluto a destruction score of 2 out of 10. We have one more candidate left, negative Earth. So buckle up, my dear friends in the BeamNG community. This is going to be intense. Who actually came up with the idea of creating this negative Earth? It's a really good idea and very cool. Since there's no end in sight, I have to turn on Earth's gravity so we can hit the ground. Otherwise, we'll fly into space. So we already have a winner, but we're still waiting for the bottom to come. The tension will stay, or something like that. We're about to have a mess, a real mechanical mess. It's a shame there's no oil leak when the engine explodes. That would be a cool feature. Wow, the vehicle was completely flattened. We did it. So, as for the score, since it's flat as a slug, I'll give it a score of 10 out of 10. The winner is clear. That brings us to the end of this video. It was a pleasure introducing you to this vehicle. See you in the next video.